In the universe of Battletech, the clans are an outside threat, a group of ex-soldiers using a caste system and a selective breeding program to make better people, trademark. But what about the clans that can't make the cut?
That are alive, you're coming with me.
ZX Spider-Man Commodore 128 and 64. I hit the floor, I hit the shore. Got gaming skills from days of yore. I close the dead computer rolls, playing till my hands are sore. Hit the cut.
Welcome to Beefsnake Nerdcast. I'm Bondsman Bolter. Today we're talking about another clan from the world of Battletech, Clan Bloodspirit, one of the original 20 clans that came out of a devastating civil war. No, wrong setting, come on. Yes, that one. No, not that. Yes, that one. See, after the Civil War, which is a whole thing unto itself, an absolute badass named Alexander Kerensky saw the way that the wind was blowing and decided to take his huge military force and hit the old dusty trail into the deep, deep space. Enter Alexander Kerensky's eldest son, and only living son, Nicholas Kerensky. Nicholas had big shoes to fill. His father was a general, a veteran, and a war hero, a very respectable man. Nicholas was ambitious, idealistic, and a manipulator. Oh, this is not going to end well, is it? Now, there is no evidence that he planned and executed a revolt during the long, grueling trip to what is now Clanspace. He made sure of that. And I'm not saying that he engineered the death of his younger brother Andrei to be the last living guy with the Kerensky name. But the timing just really worked out for him. It's also odd that he made sure in this new clanner society, a society he was instrumental in building, both in values and structure, a place where things like family lineage and bonds of blood were all but forgotten. But the Kerensky name is still held with almost religious awe, a name that he used till his last day. Interesting guy, that Nick. So, without a full video on Nicholas Kerensky, why am I bringing him up in such detail? Because Clan Bloodspirit really stands Nicholas Kerensky, and like most fan bases, it leads to self-destruction. See, clanners, due to the zealous nature of being literally built for their jobs, get pretty stuck in how they think things should work. You can't really step out of your job. You're in a literal caste system. Even if you did manage a career change, you are again born to do the job you were originally in. So good luck. And Kerensky forbid you ever do anything unclan-like. Now, for the most part, this makes the clanners a bunch of weirdos at best, and at worst, it leads to clans like Bloodspirit. First off, what's with the name, guys? See, when Kerensky, the Starscream one, not the cool one, broke everyone up into clans, he named all the clans after animals, giving all clans a noble banner and identity to rally behind. Clan Bloodspirit didn't do that. They named their clan after l'esprit du corps, or spirit of the corps, a callback to their military roots of all of the clans, which was pretty unclan-like, honestly. But don't let Clan Bloodspirit hear you say that. Clan Bloodspirit would have you believe that they are the clanniest clan that ever clanned, fervently keeping to themselves and holding true to the tenets of Nicholas Kerensky, for they are the only true clan of all the clans. Now, most clans actually hold this opinion of themselves, probably because the constant competition and ritualized honor duels between clans are a staple of clan culture. But Clan Bloodspirit thinks that they are the only clan that holds Nicholas Kerensky's words as gospel. Now, this had a few positive sides for the clan. For one, their insular, dogmatic nature let them avoid the intercaste struggles of other clans. Clan Bloodspirit has a more homogenized culture, and their training is more universal through the whole clan. The clan also lacks another flaw of most other clans, namely the bias between trueborn and freeborn. This is a natural result of the selective breeding program that clan culture is based on. and Clan Bloodspirit doesn't suffer from it. The designer babies are referred to as Trueborn, but something we need to remember is that the clanners are still human. They're people, and people still make babies. In fact, clanners are pretty straightforward about everything, including bonking. If a clanner warrior thinks you're worth a night in bed, they will just walk up to you at a bar and ask if you're interested. No strings, no hard feelings. So babies happen here and there. These babies are referred to as freeborn. And if you're a culture that builds people for the jobs they need, guess which one you're going to look down on? Clan Bloodspirit really doesn't suffer from this problem, being more of a meritocratic system. On top of that, the clan actually values individual expression, usually through art. But Clan Bloodspirit is not a flawless utopian clan. In fact, a lot of their flaws are less about how they handle themselves and more on how they don't play well with others. Remember those honor duels I mentioned earlier? Well, they're supposed to go about it a certain way. You declare a batchal, battle challenge, against a party. You bid away your advantages and strengths to even the playing field, and then you say bargain and done, and the winner takes what was bet as well as the people who lost. Those people are called bondsmen, and Clan Bloodspirit just refuses to take these guys when they win. That's pretty unclan-like and seen as a big slap in the face of the bondsmen. They gave it their best, lost fairly, and are now loyal to the victors 100%. They immediately swap who they're backing. Not taking bondsmen is straight up disrespectful to clan life, but Bloodspirit is too closed up and insular to trust others, so no bondsmen. This is a mistake. They also really held off on the cybernetic enhancements, an obvious advantage that other clans were grabbing a hold of, mostly because Kerensky didn't say so, but they eventually had to adapt as needed because they were getting their asses kicked. Speaking of how they conduct themselves in combat, Kerensky said to do it a certain way, and damn, did they stick to that. Is this an awkward time to mention that Kerensky never considered joining Clan Bloodspirit? Yeah, he joined Clan Wolf. Anyway, this means that Clan Bloodspirit structures their forces like this. On average, 5 mechs form a star, 3 stars form a trinary, 5 trinaries form a cluster. Trinaries can also be formed by infantry and vehicles. So Clan Bloodspirit has 3 mech trinaries, 1 infantry trinary, and a vehicle trinary, as Kerensky proclaimed. And Bloodspirit trains their mech warriors hard. They have the most rigorous training regiment, and the most washouts as well. The mech warriors that do make it through the training are fantastic pilots. But they also lack initiative, a classic case of fantastic soldiers that can't improvise. They also train all their castes in basic combat, just in case the other clans get any funny ideas. This once again is a callback to their military roots, and is very unclan-like. Now I say Bloodspirit didn't play well with others, but they did have a few clans in their corner. Well, okay, they had a few clans that tolerated them. They had a mutual respect thing going with Clan Snowraven. They had a business arrangement with Clan Diamond Shark, and Clan Firemandrel liked them nice enough to gift them the Omnimech technology, which is a big deal. Because Bloodspirit pissed off a few clans too, one of which is Clan Coyote. These guys invented the Omniback technology, so it's a good thing Firemandrel helped them out. Clan Hell's Horses was also on Bloodspirit's shit list. Both Coyote and Hell's Horses were responsible for the destruction of the Firemandrels, so that's where the bad blood comes from. The big name on the we don't like them list, though, was Clan Staradder. See, back in the day, Staradder had absorbed one of Bloodspirit's most hated clans, Clan Barak. Normally, when a clan gets absorbed, it's a done deal. Any inter-clan animosity is supposed to be dropped forever. Bloodspirit just couldn't do that, and started picking fights with the Staradders. This, of course, say it with me now, is unclan-like. What happens next is a bit complicated for a short synopsis. but it involves an attempted invasion, a telecom company, a spanking, and a very pissed off Clan Staradder. The short version is this: Bloodspirit poked the wrong bear. The slightly longer version is that after Staradder got booted back to clan space, they were in a foul mood. Over a long course of events involving lies, covert nonsense, and grudges, Clan Coyote called for the trial of abjuration against Clan Bloodspirit, basically calling to erase them from history. Staradder upped the ante and said, "Why wipe them from history when we can wipe them off the map?" and called for a trial of annihilation. 3 guesses what that one's for. The official verdict was a trial of absorption between Staradder and Bloodspirit. But they weren't fooling anybody. Clan Staradder wanted Bloodspirit dead, and no one was really jumping to their defense. Staradder was merciless. They opened by bombing Bloodspirit from orbit and then landing troops and mechs to burn buildings and shoot anyone that moved. Bloodspirit put up a good fight, but they just didn't have the numbers for something like this. This whole conflict took place over the course of 2 years, and Staradder did not let up for a moment. The last thing Staradder did to cement their victory was to destroy the genetic repository vaults of the clan. This is where they get all their genes for all the designer babies, and without them, the clan has nothing. This effectively ended Clan Bloodspirit forever. Clan Bloodspirit is no more, and is a cautionary tale of pushing against the grain too hard. Every clan has its own oddball features, quirks. Hell, just look at Cloud Cobra in my last video. But Bloodspirit was loud, unfriendly, and could not read the room. Clan Bloodspirit is one of the few clans that is truly gone. Not absorbed into another clan or adapted into the inner sphere and decided, it's not so bad here. They're just gone. Their elitist tendencies, selective adherence to dogma, blatant unclan-like behavior, and the inability to let grudges drop was their downfall. They weren't a very powerful clan to begin with, and they might have still been around if only one of these flaws was missing from the mix. What an ignominious end to a clan that had so much spirit. Thank you for tuning into Beefsnake Nerdcast. I've been Bolter, a humble bondsman and your host. The like and subscribe buttons are below if you would be so kind, and so are the links to all of my social medias. Tune in next time when we take on Wheeljack from Transformers. Until next time, Mech Warriors.